keep you guys waiting as well. So before I start the session, a quick formal introduction on my. I hope everyone can hear me properly. Any audio issues or any network issues that you guys are facing?
No, sir.
Perfect. No. Okay, guys. So as I've mentioned, a quick formal introduction. My name is Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council, and I teach courses such as certified ethical hacking, web application pen testing, security operations center analysis, SOC analysis in short, and a lot more. Okay, so I've had more than 5 years of experience in the domain of cybersecurity. Okay, and today in our session, we're going to be discussing the course Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. So this is the latest version from the EC Council organization, which is a very reputed in cybersecurity certifications. Okay. And this is a course for people who are completely new to the domain. So if you have never had any prior experience in cybersecurity, or if you're a complete fresher who wants to start a new domain or a job in this domain, or if you want to shift your career from any other domain, this is the first go-to course, Certified Ethical Hacking, because this will be covering all the foundational concepts from the basic level to the intermediate and advanced level as well. Okay, so before I start, this is a common question that I usually ask my students. So in their perspective, in your perspective, guys, what do you think hacking is? Or what pulled you to this demo of Certified Ethical Hacking? Again, guys, no worries, no judgment at all. I'm not asking any bookish definitive answers. Whatever comes to your mind. Okay, so in your terms, what do you think hacking is? And guys, let's keep this a bit interactive and fun. Okay, let's not just keep this one-sided. So please don't hesitate to answer or stop me or interrupt me for any questions or doubts, or if you want to speak out something, not an issue at all. So guys, does anyone want to answer?
Yes, sir. Like for hacking is like we can say like to protect people from cybercrime and all that.
Protect people from cybercrime. Okay, one second. I just forgot the name. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So if that is hacking, then what would ethical hacking be? It's because there are two terms actually. One is hacking and one is ethical hacking. If that is like protecting someone from cybersecurity, I mean from the cyber threats, then how do we term what do we call ethical hacking as? So you have given the correct answer, but for a different definition actually.
So ethical hacking means like
ethical hacking means it is illegal, sir.
Okay, and hacking is?
So hacking is like it's breaking into someone's computer or breaking breaking codes.
Exactly.
And found vulnerabilities and like something like that. So
exactly. That's a great answer, Ahmed. That's an exactly correct answer. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay. And using your same words, building upon the words that you have mentioned, if I just complete that definition on your words, hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. Okay. Now these information systems. Sorry?
Unauthorized access?
Yeah, unauthorized access process. Perfect answer. Okay. So that's the same thing which I've written down over here as well. Gaining access to information systems without the permission or without the authorization. Okay. So you try to gain access to information systems, and these information systems can be anything. They can be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a web application server or a database. Okay. So you're trying to perform or you're trying to get access to information in those systems without authorization, which is also known as unauthorized access. Okay. And this is done by the hackers for their own benefit. Okay, so once they get access to these systems, they can steal the data, destroy the data, or just sell that data to other people on the dark web. So if I just read out the definition again, hacking is the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems without the permission or the consent and the knowledge of the person or the organization owning those systems. And this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. Okay, and sometimes they even do it just for fun. Just for the sake of fun, okay, just to cause harm to other people. Okay, now if hacking seems such a malicious job or such a criminalistic task, if this is such a big crime, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? It's the second question, right? And Anand has answered that for us in the first point itself. Okay, ethical hacking, on the other hand, is the procedure of trying to find the vulnerabilities or the loopholes in these information systems, and this is done with the consent, with the authorization from the organization who own those systems. And this is done in order to report the vulnerabilities. So if you are an ethical hacker, you take the permission from the organization and abiding by their laws and policies, you try to find the weaknesses, the loopholes, also known and as commonly as vulnerabilities. Okay, because these are the same weaknesses that hackers utilize to take advantage and get access to the system. So your job as an ethical hacker would be to try to find these vulnerabilities and report them back to the organization, so that once they have been reported back, they can apply the appropriate patches for it. And once a patch has been applied, the vulnerability gets closed. Okay, and therefore you're protecting the system from getting hacked by or other malicious hackers. So therefore, you're increasing the security of the organization rather than causing any harm. This is clear, guys, what is ethical hacking and what is hacking. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Anand, Moses.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moses, any question? I hope
No. This
I
so far
hope I'm
that's-
pronouncing the name
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
sir.
correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. So
Okay.
far, so good. Thank you.
Okay. Satish, can you hear me? I guess you've joined a bit late.
Yeah, just I joined. Only the I have I'm an experienced guy in testing.
In-
Just I'm introducing myself. So like I have 11 years of experience in testing. So in this session, I'm expecting from you is like what is the I understand the concept, but how it is useful to what is the role in ethical hacking or hacking in the cyber security or the cyber security? What is the role of testers like pen testing, like how the role I'm expecting from this session? Yeah.
I will be fulfilling, Satish. So let's get along with the session. And by the end of the session, you might be that those questions or those doubts of yours might get fulfilled.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll go to that. So I'll let you know. Sure. Thank you for putting that out. I know from that I exactly know what you're expecting. So I'll see to it that I fulfill that. Okay, sure. So we'll proceed with the session in the same slow manner, like in my normal procedure itself. And I hope your doubts get satisfied and clarified as well.
Sure.
Okay, sure, guys. So proceeding further from here, depending on these two definitions, we can also categorize the different types of hackers. So there's someone known as a black hat hacker, there's someone known as a gray hat hacker, and someone known as a white hat hacker. So these are the three words in a real-time scenario you would hear as well: black hat, gray hat, and white hat hacker. Black hat hackers are also known as the cyber criminals who perform hacking for their own benefit and do this without asking for the consent. On the other hand of the spectrum, you could say the other good guys are the white hat hackers. These people are also known as penetration testers or ethical hackers who perform hacking or pen testing by abiding by the laws of the laws and policies of the organization. Okay, and they do it in order to get the vulnerabilities out and report them back. Okay, in between there's a gray area where these people fall, called gray hat hackers. Now they are also known as bug bounty hunters. They do hacking with both the qualities of black hat as well as white hat hackers, hence the name gray hat. Okay, so like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before performing pen testing. But once they find a vulnerability, they report it back like a white hat hacker. Okay, and they never do that for free, obviously. They do it for a reputational or a financial benefit on their end. So once they report it back, they request a bounty back. Okay, that bounty could be a money reward or a reputational reward, anything that benefits their careers. Okay, now all these three types of hackers, whether that be black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, perform hacking in a set of procedures. Okay, and that set of procedures is known as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. The reason why these steps are followed is because when you follow them in that same order systematically, the probability of getting access to the target system gets a lot higher. Okay, and various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers. But if I summarize it up, to sum it up, there are 5 important steps. Okay, and let me list them out first, and we'll briefly discuss about each of them one by one. So you have a clear picture of what you do in a pen testing job role, or what steps are necessary, or what we'll be learning in the coming course as well. Okay, so the first step is known as information gathering. You can also call it as reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning, which can also be called as enumeration. Third step is known as gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. And finally, last step is known as reporting or clearing traces. The reason we have specifically mentioned "or" over here is because that is where it makes all the difference between a white hat hacker and a black hat hacker. So The first 4 steps, information gathering, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, are going to be the same, whether you, whatever kind of hacker you be. What makes the difference is only the last step. So if you report all the vulnerabilities back to the organization for them to be patched up, you come under the white hat hacker spectrum. If you're trying to remove all the evidences of all the hacking you have performed rather than reporting the vulnerabilities, you're going to come under the black hat hacker's perspective. Okay. So a black hat hacker would always remove all the evidences. A white hat hacker would try to report them back so that he can let the organization know what flaws or what vulnerabilities exist on the systems in their organization. Is this clear, guys? Everyone? Anand, Anil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Now let's briefly discuss about each of these one by one so that you have a clear picture of what we are going to be discussing in the course further ahead. Okay. So the first step. So when we talk about the first step, information gathering, as the name itself says, information gathering is a step where you try to gather or obtain as much information as possible about the target passively. Now, what I mean by passively is that you try to get this information from other third-party sources. You don't directly try to contact the organization and ask them this information. You get it from other gold mines on the internet. Okay. Now you could ask me, so what kind of information are we actually talking about over here? What kind of information can we get? Now this is the information as follows. Okay, so you can try to get information about any organization, such as their IP address information, the range of IP addresses they use for different servers, their whois records to understand who is hosting the website, when was it hosted, when was it last updated. So those complete company details and the DNS records, like what information is there in their DNS servers, their employee details, like their contact numbers, email addresses, publicly disclosed usernames and passwords, and domain names, subdomains, and also the operating system information, like what operating system is being used on those web servers or other servers of theirs. Okay. Now, if I show you a brief example, so let's say if I wanted to know the contact details, like the email addresses of the employees of any organization, all I have to do is go to the browser and search for a website like hunter.io. You'll have to register in this website, guys. And once you register, so I've already a registered account over here. So once I register in this, I can search for any domain. So if I go for flipkart.com, you will notice I get all the personal emails of the Flipkart's employees directly. Okay. And this can be replicated for any organization. It also tells me what designation they're working for, some developer, reporter, technical staff, and so on. Okay. If I search for something else, let's say any company that you want me to give, guys, any example?
Amazon.
Okay. Amazon.in or .com?
.in.
Okay, let's go with .in then. Okay, there's Amazon.in. I could find these results, as you can see. Okay, some of them are for the normal emails that are given out by the company itself. And if you scroll down for more results, if I upgrade, I can get the personal details as well. Another example, let's say I go with very IT companies. Mostly this is done for IT companies where you want to get the details of the personal IT employees. So for example, Wipro or Infosys or TCS or whatever it be. So let's go to wipro.com. Okay, and you can notice there's 1382 results for that. And if I click on search, you can notice these are the personal emails. Mohammad Arshad, Niles Ackerman, Soumya Swaroop, Andrea Zip. And these are the personal emails one by one. And also tells us where these emails are being gathered from. So if you notice there's sources to verify that this information is actually true. So if I go to this website, so in this website somewhere, that information was revealed. And from this official website of Wipro itself, it could get that information somewhere. Okay. So in this web page somewhere, yeah, over here, if you notice, that email was mentioned, as you can see. So this, okay, there's another one also here. Okay. So this hunter.io makes it easier for us, for a job of a hacker or an ethical hacker, to fetch the emails of any organization. Now, once he gets these email addresses, it is possible that a hacker can perform phishing attacks, send malicious links and malicious login pages like a fake Wipro login page, and try to get their credentials. So these email addresses are very helpful for a hacker or an ethical hacker to perform phishing attacks or social engineering pen testing as well. Okay.
So there's one question, like hunter.io is a website like which collect information of like people's.
Yeah, public information, especially their email address information. So wherever on the internet email addresses of any organization have been mentioned, It crawls those web pages and tries to fetch those emails from those web pages. And it streamlines that information for us, puts them all in one location.
And so that means it's illegal, I think, or?
Definitely not. It's not at all illegal because it is not trying to perform any hacking or anything. It is just showing you from which all sources these emails were already present from. So if you notice, these emails were mentioned by those people themselves. They were leaked by themselves. 100.io is doing a job to tell that company back that these emails were linked by your company. So if you want to remove them, please remove them. So Wipro's responsibility is that it goes to these websites and removes them. So if you notice over here, from these sources, Wipro has removed it already. It forgot to remove from these 4 sources anymore. So that is why 100.io is doing a job, is helping them out actually to tell them which email addresses of their company were leaked. Okay. So that gives a good perspective for the company to understand if there is possibilities of which emails were leaked and which emails were not. Okay. Because if you notice only, it is only showing 1,300 results. These are not the complete employees of Wipro. If you know, Wipro has lakhs and lakhs of employees. Out of the 1,300 emails were leaked out, is what he tries to say.
All right, sir.
Right? Okay. Now, proceeding further, if I show you another example, so let's say there's a DNS records. Okay. So every company has DNS servers to resolve IPs to the domain names and the domain names to IPs. If you want to get the DNS server records for any organization, you can go to a website like DNS Dumpster. Okay. And under this website, you can search the IP address information or the DNS records information for any organization. So if I go with wipro.com again, and if I click on search, this gives me a complete network topology, the complete information for the DNS servers and their exact, and their exact IP addresses, their text records, their host records, the IP addresses, the domain names, the subdomains, and their exact IP addresses on which you can attack, and also a complete network topology of how Wipro's network exists. So I know each and every organization server and its IP address from this website. Okay. Now, how is this website getting it? How is this information legal or illegal? And how is this useful for a hacker? That is what we'll be learning in the course. But again, every information provided over here is up to date and exactly genuine. Okay. So this is a very good website known in the pen testing circle to perform pen testing on different servers of any organization, because this gives a complete network topology, the complete network of Wipro servers and exactly each IP address of that company. Okay, the mail servers, the DNS servers, the web servers, everything. A is nothing but the web servers, and DNS stands for DNS servers itself. MX stands for the mail servers of Wipro. Okay, is this clear, guys?
Sir, how they are getting like the exact IP address of the companies?
As I've mentioned, that this is what we'll be discussing in the course later on. But if I just give you a clue, this information is actually given out by Wipro itself. They need to give this exact public IPs in the public network so that it is accessible by the general public, by all the people in the world. So if you want any server to be accessible, that information needs to be given out in the public. And this is maintained by a website called ICANN, or also known as Who is Database. So from that specific website called Who is Database, we're getting this information that is maintained by an organization called ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. That is a centralized database on the internet, which maintains information about each and every domain on the internet. Okay. And from that original source, these people are getting that information and they're putting it in a systematic way for us to understand for any organization. Okay. So they're filtering out all the necessary information for each organization and displaying it to us for performing pen testing. Okay. And as I've mentioned, this information is given out by Wipro themselves on the internet. Okay. But not many people know about it. That in this way, you can gather that information for any organization. Okay. So this is only known in the pen testing circles or the hacking or ethical hacking circles. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So in the classes, we're going to be learning what this ICANN is, why this Wipro is giving out this information so freely, and what are the other sources from where you can get some extra information, extra interesting information as well. Okay, so as we proceed further, so once we gather all this information from different sites, and once we know what all publicly available information is there for the website or for our target organization, then we go with the next step, which is scanning. Okay, so scanning is a phase where you try to perform, again, information gathering only, but with active connections. So the main objective of it is to gather some extra information, some much more information about the target by making active connections. Now, whatever information we gathered was from passive sources in the first step, which means we were not contacting Wipro. We were just searching for Wipro's website, Wipro servers or Wipro domain name in other third-party websites like DNS Dumpster, Hunter.io. These are third-party websites. We did not contact Wipro at all. So Wipro does not know that we're trying to get all this information about it. In scanning phase though, we directly contact Wipro servers. We directly send packets to Wipro servers and wait for the response to get some extra information. And that is known as scan. So you try to make active connections with the target to get some extra information, which you could not get in the first phase. And in scanning, there are three phases again. There's something known as network scanning. There's something known as port scanning. And finally, there's something known as vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we can try to figure out in our local network. So if you are already in the organization and in that local network, what all other devices are active? So you can try to scan that from your own system. So from your personal computer, you can try to scan the whole network and figure out in that same network, what all other devices are active, whether that be mobile phones or other PCs or the firewalls, routers, switches, anything that be, any other device that is active that can be locally scanned in your network, in your old device. After you perform that network scanning, you perform port scanning to figure out on those active devices which are running along with you, on those devices, what ports are open, and on those ports, what services are running. So every system has a few logical ports from 0 to 65535. We'll discuss that in detail in the coming classes, guys. But to just give you a brief picture, just like how we humans have our ports as well for communication. So I have two incoming ports and two outgoing ports. Okay, my mouth and my fingers are outgoing ports where I can give out information from. My eyes and my ears are incoming ports where I can receive information. Okay. Similarly, computers also have ports, and they have 65,535 ports like this for getting information and for transferring out information. Okay. So in our port scanning tool, we can figure out on each system what ports are active, what ports are open, and on those ports, what services are active. Finally, we perform vulnerability scanning to check out on these services or on these ports which services can be attacked, which are vulnerable and have weaknesses. Okay, so in this step of scanning, we use very important tools like Nmap and Nessus. So if I show you a brief example, I can go to my browser and show you this tool called Nessus. Satish, have you heard about this tool earlier, since you already belong to the testing department? I guess you might know about it. Nessus vulnerability scanning tool. Hello.
No. I'm an automation and manual functional tester basically.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm team lead. So I didn't have knowledge and only just I know the concepts of pen testing.
Okay, sure, no problem. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I got
So
confused.
this is a tool yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, sure. This is a tool for automated vulnerability scan. What I mean by that is just as soon as once you perform this in a network, or whatever devices that are there in your local network. Satish, one minor request. Can you please mute your mic?
Yeah, sure.
So if there's any queries, guys, or any questions, feel free to unmute your mic and ask me your questions. Okay. Unless and until you have a question, please keep your mic muted so that others don't get any background disturbance or anything. Okay. So as I was, let me continue back. So as I was saying, this is also automated vulnerability scanning. And
Can I ask a question quickly?
Yeah, sure, Moses, go ahead.
This is very, very nice, very important. Are we going to have some notes on this, or should we just because sometimes when you're trying to make notes and try to follow it, you kind of fall way off. Are we going to get some kind of recordings of this or some notes?
There is a recording of this directly on YouTube itself, Moses. So whatever session I'm taking right now today will be recorded and it will be uploaded on YouTube shortly. So from there you can access this again, the same session.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. So yeah, as I was saying, this Nessus tool is a vulnerability assessment and scanning tool. So this is used in organizations. Again, guys, this is not a free tool. Okay, so this organization purchases this tool license for you. Okay, and recently they have increased the price also. Earlier this was around $2,500 or something. That's $3,500. Okay, as you can see. But also, just in case, for you to understand how to use this tool, there's a trial version as well where you can scan 16 devices for that. And after 16 devices, the license expires for you. Okay, so I have the same license, the license Nessus Essentials, and let me show you how this tool works. Like, so I can just open up this tool. This works on the default port 8834 on my system, or on any other system as well. Let me log into my Nessus Essentials tool. And now once I log in, this is how the tool looks like. So you have multiple scan templates. You can perform a host discovery scan to figure out in your network what devices are open, what devices have what ports open. You can perform a network scan to find out what ports are running what services. And then you can perform an advanced scan, a malware scan, a web application scan, a cloud scan, or anything to find out the vulnerabilities on those devices. And once you perform a scan, this is how the results would look like. So I've scanned 3 devices earlier in my one of my classes. And on each of these devices, it tells you what devices have what kind of vulnerabilities. They are categorized into 5 parts. Okay, information-based vulnerabilities, low vulnerabilities, medium, high, and critical. So in information-based, that gives you basic information. So if there's any usernames or passwords leaked or any operating system information leaked out, that comes in the information part. So if I show you an example, so if I go to this one, let's say open SSL detection. So this shows that based on this response on the TSL inquiry, there's a service running on these ports, the PostgreSQL servers and SMT servers. So these ports by default should not be open, but it is telling due to these open information, this information is being leaked. So these ports are open and so on. If I give you another one, let me show you. Again, these are just information-based ones. So what information should not actually be leaked, if that is given out, it shows you that. So as you can see over here also, okay, it is possible to obtain the banner. It is telling us what service is running with what version details exactly, BSFTPD 2.3.4. So it is telling it is possible to obtain the banner. Banner is nothing but version information for a remote FTP server. Okay, so these are information-based vulnerabilities. If I go back a step and go to critical ones, it also tells me that they are backdoor accesses. Okay, so using these vulnerabilities, it allows an attacker to execute arbitrary code, which means you can remotely execute target code on the system. Okay, so this is a backdoor connection. So automatically this vulnerability scanning tool Nessus allows us to scan any device and check out what weaknesses a system has. Does it have a backdoor access? Does it have a shell access? Does it have any information-based vulnerabilities? Anything. So this might be getting a bit technical, guys, but a simple logic to understand is this is a very good, a very top-notch automated tool used in organizations to perform vulnerability scanning and give you a clear picture of what devices have what vulnerabilities and how you can attack that system. Okay, so it also tells you how to attack it, how to prevent the vulnerability, every single thing. So this is a Linux system that I've scanned. As you can see, it also tells us OS I've scanned is Linux. I also scanned a Windows operating system also somewhere. I guess this is the one. Yeah, this is Microsoft Windows. And it tells you which system has which vulnerabilities, if it is an unsupported operating system, how do you attack it, and what is the solution to prevent this vulnerability. Every single thing is maintained by this vulnerability scanning tool. Okay, so this is a very top-notch tool that is used in real-time scenarios in organizations to show you how vulnerability scanning is done and how do you check the reports. Okay, so you can also report this out. So once you click on report, it generates a report for you. And this is the job of a person who is completely new to the cybersecurity domain. If you're a fresher, this would be your job where you perform vulnerability scanning, automated vulnerability scanning in organizations and generate the report and forward it to pen testers. So this is how your report looks like, okay, for that specific vulnerability. So I've done it only for one single vulnerability. I can generate the report for the whole organization also. Okay, so your job would be to perform automated vulnerability scanning and generate a report like this and forward that to the senior pen testers who perform vulnerability assessment. That is nothing but our next part, which is gaining access. Okay, so once you perform scanning, once you get the list of vulnerabilities, next part is nothing but actually manually attacking the system, which is also known as vulnerability assessment. Vulnerability scanning is using automated tools and scanning the target system. Vulnerability assessment is attacking the target system depending on the report and checking if there is actually a vulnerability or if it is a false positive. Okay,
Hello,
so that
sir.
comes, yeah, guys.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Just I want to know what is the difference between cloud security and cyber security. This is the basic question I know, but I am eager to know that.
No problem. Cloud, again, cyber security, Aditya, that is the domain. Okay, just like how you have networking as a domain, sales as a domain, management as a domain, or system administration as a domain. Cyber security is a domain. Under that, you have various streams again, like cloud security, network security, system security, patch management. All these are different streams under that domain. Okay, so cloud security is a part of cyber security, you could say. I hope that clarifies, Aditya.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. So coming to the next part, after we are done with information gathering, after we are done with automated scanning to find out what vulnerabilities exist on system, then we come with gaining access part. Now, this is a huge concept, guys. It covers a vast variety of topics, and these are as follows. So firstly, first topic that we'll be discussing in gaining access part is system hacking. Again, in this, we'll discuss all the common different attack types, okay, or how the hackers try to get access to different various systems or endpoints. Okay, so the first thing we'll discuss is system hacking. How do hackers try to crack or bypass any Windows operating system password? So whether you have Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10, your system has a password to it. How can hackers crack this password? Okay, or how they can bypass it without even you knowing it and get access to the internal files is what we learn in the system hacking class. And again, once we discuss every attack type practically, we'll also discuss how to prevent these attacks, how to defend yourself from these attacks, okay, and what vulnerability or what loophole is causing this attack. Okay, then comes the malware attack, where malwares are nothing but malicious softwares. Okay, and under that you have different categories again. The viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, rootkit, whatnot. Okay, so we'll practically discuss how these malwares are created and how do you defend yourself from these malwares. Okay, and then there's another advanced concept called malwares advanced. This is a bonus concept, guys. This is not included in the CH curriculum. I've added this so that students have a better understanding, okay, of how to develop malwares on their own. So in this, I'll be sharing the resources of how you can create. One second, guys. There's some background disturbance on my end. Am I audible now, guys? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'm so sorry for that. There's some vendors on the street. I am taking this session from my home, so apologies if there's any background disturbance of mine. Okay, so let me continue back. As I was mentioning, malware advanced is a concept where I'll show you how hackers or any malware developer can create his own malware using a Python 3 programming language. So I'll be sharing the resources for that. I'll explain how to do that, how to create your own malware using a Python programming language. And we learn how to create a keylogger. A keylogger is a spyware which once installed on the target system, it can capture all the keystrokes. So whatever user types on his system, whether that be usernames or passwords or any random content, even in a notepad file, each and every keystroke will be captured by the keylogger, the application that we create, and that will be sent back to the attacker via email. Okay, and that is what we learn in the malware advanced concept, how to create a keylogger using Python language. Again, guys, you don't need to learn Python anywhere separately. Those will also be included in the resources that I'll be sharing. Okay. After that comes network pen testing, but I'll show you what are the common network attacks. So technically speaking, there's something like sniffing, man-in-the-middle attack, denial-of-service attacks, and much more. Okay, also how to hack Wi-Fi routers and crack their passwords. All these belong or come under the network pen testing or the network pen testing concept. Okay, so in these concepts, we'll understand how hackers can perform attacks in a local network. Okay, how they can capture the packets of other users, how they can capture the usernames and passwords of other victims, and how to crack Wi-Fi router passwords. All that comes in the network pen testing. Then comes social engineering, where I'll show you how hackers can create fake replica pages, fake login sites, or fake login pages like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ICICI Bank, whatever page that be, how they can create a fake login page. Let me quickly show you a basic example. I'll create a fake Instagram page. Let me show you. And I'll do that within 5 minutes itself. Let me log into my Kali machine quickly. Again, I won't be explaining how these steps, guys, because that is a part of the course. But let me show you how hackers can do that within fractions of, or within a couple minutes itself. Okay, so okay, let me do this for Instagram just as an example. Okay, php-s localhost 80. Okay, done. So now what I've done is I've just locally in my own local network hosted an Instagram page. In our coming classes in the CH session, I'll show you how you can host this publicly also and get access to. I can send this link to anyone in the world and get their credentials. So right now, locally, just to do this quickly, I've just hosted an Instagram page on my local network. As you can see, an exact replica of the official Instagram page. Okay, and now if I enter any credentials in this, so let's say I enter something like Anil. What's the full name? I'm so sorry. Forgot. Anil Kumar Phule. Okay, perfect. So let me enter something over here like Anil Kumar PHULE123. And let me enter the password as any password that you want to give me, guys. Any random password that you want me to enter over here.
Google Play.
Okay, Google Plane, PLANE.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And once I click on login now, let's carefully observe. This now redirects to the original site. So the user might think, okay, maybe I entered the credentials wrong or something. The page loaded up again for me. But internally, these credentials were captured. So if I go to my terminal, spread horizontally, /opt black eye sites Instagram. Yeah. And now if the usernames and passwords will be stored locally in my machine. So if I just show you whatever usernames that I entered, they will be captured in plain text, in clear text, and I can see them over here, as you can see. So I can just send this local page to any person in my local network. And if they enter any credentials in that, automatically those credentials get sent to my machine. Okay, in a local network. I can also perform this in a public network, send it to anyone remotely from my system to your system over the internet. And if you enter your credentials in that, automatically I get your passwords as well. And not just Instagram, I can perform this for any website. Okay, mentioned over there. Oh, 1 second, guys. LS. Yeah, as you can see, for Adobe, Amazon, Apple, Bitcoin, Facebook, GitHub, Google, Instagram, LinkedIn, Messenger, Microsoft, Netflix. These are all the common popular ones. Twitter, shopping cart, Snapchat. Yeah. If there's anything not mentioned over here, like an ICICI bank login page, how do you do for that? I'll also show you how we can replicate any login page on the internet. And that is how hackers do it as well. Okay. After we understand the attack scenario, I'll show you how you can stop this or prevent this from happening on your system. Okay. How do you check whether a page is malicious or what are the properties of a malicious page and an original page? How do you differentiate between both of them? Is what we'll learn in detail in social engineering attacks. Okay. So all this comes under phishing attacks. How hackers create fake login pages, how they send it to victims, how they capture their credentials. All that is phishing attacks, also known as social engineering attacks. Okay. After that, we'll be coming with web application pen testing, where we learn all the common web application vulnerabilities. Okay, so there are a few weaknesses that websites have, due to which attackers can get access to the internal servers or the databases. Okay, so they are such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, session management, file upload vulnerability. These are just common vulnerabilities that exist on websites. If you want to get to know all the most important vulnerabilities that can exist, you can also go to a website called OWASP 10. Okay, this is an open source organization maintained by them itself, which lists out all the top 10 vulnerabilities or weaknesses that websites usually have. Okay, and this list gets updated every few years. So if I download the page or download this thing, was top 10 2021, this shows you the top 10 vulnerabilities in today's websites. Okay, broken access control, cryptographic failures, SQL injection, system misconfigurations. All these are the vulnerabilities that exist in websites. Okay, and it also explains what these vulnerabilities are, how you can detect them, how to prevent them, everything. So we'll practically learn in our classes how these vulnerabilities exist, how to prevent them. If there is a vulnerability, how do you attack it and exploit it? Everything comes under that. Okay, then comes vulnerability assessment, where we'll be using an important tool called Metasploit framework. Okay, so in my Kali, if I just minimize this, this is a Kali operating system, guys. I'll be coming to this in a short while, don't worry. Okay, but this application has something known as Metasploit framework. Okay, this is an application that is used in organizations as well to perform vulnerability assessment, which is nothing but manual pen testing. If there is a vulnerability that you can find in a report from a tool like Nessus, to perform that vulnerability, to attack on that vulnerability, we use this tool called Metasploit framework. Okay, so it has all the exploits, all the malicious codes, the malicious payloads, and using them, we can attack on any target having a vulnerability and get the remote access. So how do we do that? How this vulnerability assessment is performed is what we learn in the course. Okay, then finally comes the last topic, which is hacking Android phones. Okay, hacking mobile phones, how Android phones can be hacked, how you can send malicious malware, the Trojans remotely, and get access to any Android phone over the internet is what we learn in that topic. Okay, again, all these are the advanced concepts, guys, covering from the very basics till the advanced level. Okay, and since not everyone would be from the technical background, before we start this advanced course, there's a few prerequisites, and even those are included in the course itself. Okay, so we'll learn about virtualization, what virtualization is, and again, briefly explain you, virtualization is nothing but on your one single operating system, you can run multiple operating systems, and we can do that using tools like VMware. Okay, so this is the virtualization tool using which you can try to run multiple operating systems. So right now I'm running my Kali operating system in this. So this is my VMware application, and in that I can run my Windows 7, Kali, multiple operating systems. Okay, so your Kali operating system is a Linux-based operating OS, and the reason why we'll be using this is because this comes pre-installed with all the pen testing tools. Now, these are not readily available with your Windows operating system, guys. So these tools are specifically built for Linux on environment. Okay, and therefore, in order to use these tools, we need to download this operating system in our system. Okay, and this is freely available again. So as the good saying goes, all good things are free for life. So you have Kali, you can download it from the official website, the original source called kali.org. Oh, 1 second. Is my internet working? Could be under maintenance, if I'm not wrong.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, what are the configuration required, sir?
Oh, yeah, coming to that. Okay, just give me a second, guys. Maybe there's some maintenance going on this website. Therefore, this is not accessible at the moment. You could try this out on your system, guys. Just search for Kali in the browser. This is the official website from where you can download the tools. Okay. Now, coming to the system configuration, minimum to minimum requirement is a basic processor, i3 processor, not lower than that, guys. So I'm giving you the minimum configuration.
I think it is not supported to AMD processor.
No, AMD as well. Even my system, if you notice over here, this PC, so properties, my system is also running AMD on. So if possible, minimum i3 processor or AMD Ryzen 3, okay, which is similar to Intel i3. Okay, so right now I'm running Ryzen 5, which is similar to i5 processor. Okay, so my recommendation, have at least i3 or Ryzen 3, okay, as processor, and RAM minimum 8 GB. Okay, if you have 4 GB also, it will work, but it might hang a bit. Okay, 8 GB it will run smoothly. More than 8 GB, it runs like butter. Okay, as smooth as possible. So I have 16 GB RAM. My minimum recommendation, have 8 GB. If you have lesser than 8 GB also, that is also fine. But you can't run multiple virtual machines. Okay, you can only run 1 or 2 virtual machines at a time. With 16 GB or 8 GB, you can run 3-4 virtual machines at the same time easily. Okay, so again, there's not much requirements, guys, for cybersecurity. Having i3 processor or 8 GB of RAM is more than sufficient. Okay, and now.
So there's one question. Sir, like how you're using like Windows 7 on Kali Linux?
Again, as I've mentioned, guys, that is the property of virtualization. So if I go to my VMware, this is an application. Okay, this application allows you to allocate some physical components. So if you have 1 TB hard disk, out of that 1 TB hard disk, it allocates 40 GB to this Windows 7. And from my 16 GB RAM, it allocates 1 GB RAM to the virtual machine. And after allocating them, virtually it will run this operating system for you in the VMware application. So like that, you can run multiple operating systems in this application called VMware. So this VMware is installed on your base system, your Windows 10 or Windows 11. On this, inside this VMware application, inside this setup, we have other OSs.
So sir, basically we have to install like first Kali Linux, then we can install like any Windows.
Yeah, not Kali Linux, the VMware application.
First we
have to install VMware, right?
Sir, VMware is a operating system or it's a application?
It's an application. Your Windows 11 is operating system. On your Windows operating system, you have a VMware application.
Okay, it means like we have to install Windows 10 or Windows 11. Then we have to install VMware on Windows 11. Then we can run several operating systems, right?
That's it. So you don't have to install Windows 11. That is your base operating system. So if you have Windows 10 or Windows 11, on top of that, you'll install VMware. That's it. So if I show you a big, let me draw this out, guys, if there's any confusion. I understand. This is the first time for, oh, sorry. So if I go to this application over here, and now, so let's say this is my base operating system over here. Okay, so let's say this is my Windows 10 OS. Windows 10 or Windows 11 or whatever it be. Okay. Okay. Now inside this Windows 10, I'll install my VMware application. Let me change the color for better understanding. So inside this, I'll install my VMware application. Okay. So this is my VMware. Okay. So you already have your base operating system, Windows 10 or Windows 11. On inside that, you have VMware. And under that VMware, you can install multiple operating systems again, like your Kali, Windows 7, Windows 8, whatever you want. Okay. So again, I'll be sharing you all these resources. So VMware is a paid application, guys. I'll be sharing the cracked version with you, the same one which I'm using in my system as well. And after you install that, under that, you can install your Kali OS or any other OS of your choice.
And so for that, we have to like create partitions or?
Not necessary. No partitions required, nothing required. Okay. These are just your virtual machines. Okay. Virtual systems. You don't need to create any physical partitions or nothing. Okay. You just need to allocate. So if your Windows 10 has something like a 1 TB storage or anything. So let's say this is like 1 TB storage and 16 GB RAM. So out of this 1 TB, what I'll do is for this machine, I'll allocate something like 50 GB. Okay. And 2 GB RAM.
It's possible to like allocate RAM also, sir?
Yeah, definitely. So that's what I've done over here also. Okay. So out of my 16 GB RAM for my virtual machines over here, let me clear these drives. What I've done is I've allocated some amount of RAM for them. So if I go to settings, out of my 16 GB, I allocated this Windows machine 1 GB RAM. Okay. So now my base operating system will use only 15 GB. Okay. Again, for my Kali system, I've allocated another 2 GB RAM. So if I go to settings, you can see over here, I've allocated 2 GB. So out of my 16 GB now, I gave 2 GB to Kali, 1 GB to my Windows machine. So in total, 13 GB remaining will be used by my base system, my base Windows 11. The 3 GB will be used for virtual machines. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir. And so the second question is related to Keylogger. Sir, what if I will, for example, like someone install Keylogger in my laptop and I'm going to like use my internet banking. I want to use my internet banking. So I'm going on Google Chrome or any browser and I'm using bookmark. Okay. I'm using bookmark to access that website of my bank. And then I'm like putting my like username and password. So the Keylogger will like, it will track my browser like that particular browser of that bank or not?
Every single thing, every single thing. If there's a keylogger on your system, no matter where you enter a keystroke, it will be there on your hardware directly. Okay. So it will be linking it to your hardware keyboard. So it does not matter if you enter it in a notepad file or in a browser or anywhere. So if you're using your keyboard anywhere in the system, your keylogger can capture that username and password.
But sir, Keylogger's job is to like capture only keystrokes. But I'm going on the page of ICICI Bank, and but not using like keystrokes. I'm just using bookmark. So how Keylogger will like track like some he's going to like.
Are you talking about saved password bookmark in the sense?
Sir, bookmark means like there is option like we can create bookmark to like shortcut.
Yeah,
from the cookies he is saying.
That's what, from saved passwords, if I'm not wrong, right, Satish?
No, sir. Like
saved passwords.
No, sir. Not for saved password. Like there is option like to create a bookmark to access any website like.
Yeah, bookmark will only give you the website, guys. It will
yes,
not
exactly.
password for you, right?
Yes, exactly. But my question is like the Keylogger will like track the bookmark or not?
No, it won't. It won't track what you're clicking with the mouse on it. It will only track what you're typing with the keyboard. Okay. So whatever keys you type and you're using your keyboard, only those will be tracked. Okay. If you're clicking something with a mouse or anything, your Keylogger will not track that. Okay, I guess if that is your point, I'm not sure what you're mentioning by bookmark because
if we use a virtual keyboard in the ICICI Bank site.
Exactly. So virtual keyboard can prevent that kind of an attack, actually, a keylogger attack.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, that's that, guys. So after gaining access again, there's two simple topics more: maintaining access and reporting. So in maintaining access, I'll show you how you can maintain persistent connections. So if the user restarts his system or shuts it down and starts it after a while, how do you maintain that connection to the system after Trojan attack or anything? That is maintaining access, maintaining persistent connections, even if the target restarts the system. Then finally comes the reporting or clearing traces, where I'll show you how you can report the vulnerabilities in an ethical hacking format or clear the traces like a black hat hacker format. Okay. So again, as I've mentioned, guys, before we dive into all these advanced concepts, we have a few introductory concepts. So we learn what virtualization is, how to install this VMware application, how to install a lab setup. Then we learn basic networking concepts like what is IP address, what are public IPs, what are private IPs, what is a DHCP server, what is DNS server. Okay, then we learn basic Linux and Windows commands, and then we dive into the advanced concepts like the footprinting, scanning networks, and so on, our hacking cycle concepts. So yeah, that's that, guys. Now we can have a small Q&A session. If anyone has any questions or anything, you can put forward your questions. You can ask me your questions. And then
So like, can you explain the word enumeration?
enumeration is nothing but, again, a part of scanning networks.
Mhm.
So scanning can also be called as enumeration. It's a different name for it. Okay. So
Okay.
once you perform scanning, you get a list of all the active devices on your network. On that, you perform enumeration to get the devices, to get the information on the services. So what services are running, what versions of the services are running, or what ports are open. That is known as enumeration. Getting extra information on the ports or the services, getting their version details and all that is known as enumeration.
Mhm. And sir, cryptography.
Cryptography is an already established concept, guys. Cryptography is nothing but converting a plain text into a ciphered text. Okay.
Oh,
So usually when you
okay.
visit a browser, you
Mhm.
have something like HTTPS.
Yes.
So what is that S over there? Okay, that is the concept of cryptography, where it is enabling encryption of your data, converting. So whatever data you're accessing from your system to the server, that data gets encrypted. So that even if there's an attacker in between performing man-in-the-middle attack, he can't access your data because that is completely encrypted. So you can understand this like whatever data you're sending, it gets locked inside a wooden or an iron box, okay, so that no one can access. So someone knows that you're transferring data, but they don't know what data you're transferring. Okay, that is encryption, converting your data from plain text into ciphered text so that no one can understand what data you're sending or receiving from other servers. Okay, so we'll understand what this encryption is, what are the different encryption algorithms, what is public key encryption, private key, symmetric, asymmetric. These are the concepts of encryption. So we'll learn all those in the encryption concept, in the module of encryption.
Yeah,
Okay.
sir, I have one question.
Sure, Aditya.
Yeah, so suppose can we break also, like if my application have web application firewall, so can we also break these type of advanced firewalls?
Again, depends, Aditya, that would depend on the firewall you're using, the vendor you're using, and if it has any known vulnerability. So if your firewall has a vulnerability which was disclosed on the internet, using that vulnerability, we can try to attack the firewall or bypass the firewall. If the firewall does not have any vulnerability, if it does not have any weakness which was published on the internet, your firewall is safe to use. So we'll understand if there is a firewall and if there's a vulnerability which was disclosed earlier, how do you use that vulnerability and attack the firewall or any other system for that matter, whether it be a firewall or a client operating system or a router or any other device for that. Okay, so those are known as publicly disclosed vulnerabilities. Okay, depending on this disclosed vulnerabilities, if you are using an application which was not patched, okay, which is not applied the security patch, that can be attacked. Okay, and that is what we'll see. Okay, there is nothing. So if there was a completely secure firewall, and if you were able to attack it, in today's world, no organization could be safe. So we'll understand how to check for vulnerabilities in your systems or in your firewall or in any other system for that. And if there is a vulnerability, how can you attack on that? And if you are attacking, how do you prevent that attack in future? That is what we learn, Aditya.
Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So we'll discuss on how to attack for vulnerabilities on which it has already been disclosed on the internet. Okay. So if there is a weakness that your system has, and if you have not patched it up, how do we attack that? Okay. And how to prevent it as well. That is
how long is the course?
Most of the course is for 45 days. And again, one more thing, the course has already started, Moses, the last week itself. Okay, we are done with one concept, which is networking. Okay, so every day, the classes are already running, okay, at 9 p.m. every day. So if you want to join the course, guys, I was about to come to this point. So course is for 45 days, guys. And already one concept is done, which is this concept of networking, basic concept. Okay, so we are going to discuss the next concept of virtualization from tomorrow's session at 9 p.m. Okay, again, all these sessions which are being done are recorded, guys, and they're being uploaded to the drive. So in case if you want a backup class or anything, I can take that live session again for you if you have missed out any concept on the weekends. Okay, again, every day the classes are running. We just started this on Thursday, last Thursday. So the classes are from Monday to Friday, and we just completed one concept, which is networking. And if you want a backup for that, you can take a backup before the class from tomorrow's 9 p.m. session also. Okay. Or if you want to,
I'm definitely interested because I done the basic security class. My goal was to do the CY CYSA?
Moses, your voice is very low. It's very feeble and I can't hear it properly.
Oh, no, I was using the, let's see. Okay, I was using a microphone. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it's a bit better, Moses.
Okay. All right. I've done Security Plus.
Okay, CompTIA Security Plus, if I'm not wrong.
Security Plus. My
Yes.
goal was to do CYSA, but of course, when I talked to Krishna, I asked him about this one and said, okay, this one, and I seem to, I really like this very much. So I want to register for the class and try to get the notes and try to follow 45 days is pretty good.
Sure, Moses. I guess you might have received an email from the institute called DURGASOFT. Okay, so you might have got a contact number as well for that. If not, let me give the contact number. I guess let me just check it out on my mail.
My contact number?
No, Moses. Your email, the email that you might have received. Yeah, these are the contact numbers for DURGASOFT.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Let me put this in the chat box for everyone to access. So in case if you want to register, guys, please contact us on that number for registrations.
Okay.
I've given the contact numbers. Please copy that information. In case if these numbers are not getting lifted, guys, this is my personal number over here. So this number is mine, 76800696768. So if in case the institute does not lift, just let me know. I'll forward your information to the institute directly. Okay. And you can join the course from tomorrow at 9 p.m. You have the first class.
Every day 9 p.m. sir, classes are there.
Every day 9 p.m. from Monday to Friday, guys. So we have class.
Is there any morning classes, sir? Morning or after?
As of now, there's no batch for morning, Anil. But in case if we launch any, I'll let you know. Because we every month.
Now I am working, sir. That's why I'm asking you.
Achha.
Yeah, sir, same thing for me. I want also morning batch, sir. I have night shift. That's why I couldn't join.
1 second.
Night.
Let me just get back with that on you guys. 1 second. Let me check there.
Night will work for me because so that's night in India.
Night 9 p.m. is one batch, ongoing batch, guys. Morning, just let me just confirm.
Because I'm doing AWS as well, which is kind of an old conflict with this time.
Right. Guys, as of now, there's no morning batch. But if there's a requirement for a lot of students, for a majority amount of students, we can start a new morning batch as well. So please contact the institute once and raise your query that you want a morning batch at whatever time that is sufficient, suitable for you. And depending on that, if there's a majority of students, we can start a morning batch. Moses, for you, there's already an ongoing batch at 9 p.m. guys. If anyone is comfortable with the night time, 9 p.m., you can join that batch already. Okay, you can just register with them and you can join that course at 9 p.m. Okay.
Okay. The 9 p.m.
And again, these new batches.
Can you provide certificate after complete this course, sir?
Yeah, we help in certifications as well. So once this course is done, you'll be getting the course completion certificate anyhow. But in case if you want to write the CEH certification from the EC Council, we help in that also. So there's complete pass guarantee and the assistant certifications also, guys. Okay.
Sir, our daily classes in Zoom only or other application like Teams?
We use GoToMeetings, guys. So we use GoToMeetings to record the sessions. Okay. So we'll be using that application. And yeah, you one more thing to note, every class will be recorded. You'll have drive access to all the recordings of the classes. So recordings will be there, class notes will be there, PDF materials will be there, all the tools are included. Everything is included in the course fees of complete 8,000 rupees, guys. So comparatively, it's a very cheap course compared to other institutes. Okay, so I teach for other institutes as well simultaneously. And trust me, people are charging around 35,000 to 40,000 for the same course. Whereas DurgaSoft, because it has a lot of more students compared to other institutes, it is charging for a lot lesser price. Okay, so please contact the institute if you want to get registered, and you can join the class tomorrow at 9. Okay, so you can contact the institute. And guys, if for their busy schedule, if they are not lifting or responding to the calls at a certain time, please contact me. I'll forward your information directly. Okay, so my number is 76800696768. Let me put that in the chat box as well. Okay. Firstly, contact the institute, prioritize that number. Okay. And in case if they don't lift the call or anything, you can contact on this number. I forward that information of yours to the institute. And I have shared the contacts by the institute in the chat box as well, guys. So you can contact on that. Okay. Any other questions or queries, guys, up to this part?
Yes, sir. There is one more question. So, like, do we require any like Python skills to start ethical hacking?
You do not require any programming skills or any development language coding required at all. You can just start. If you have basic computer knowledge, that is more than sufficient, because all the required concepts are included in the course. So we require networking and Linux commands, and those concepts are already included in the course. So other than having a ready system, you do not require anything else, guys. Anand. So there is no requirement for Python language or any programming language necessary. Whatever is required is included in the course directly.
Yes, sir. One more question, sir.
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah, I suppose the morning batch is not yet started. So you
Yes.
said that every month we start the new batches. So can it is a possibility? So next month we can get a new morning session.
Not necessarily, Aditya. If there's multiple students, like at least 5 to 6 members, a requirement for morning batch, we can start it next week itself. Like from, if possibility is, we can start it from tomorrow itself. Depends on the availability of the students. We can't start the batch with 1 or 2 students. So we at least require 6 to 7 students for that, for each batch. Okay. Depending on that availability, if we have more students, we can start it as soon as possible.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Please.
Sir, there is one more question like related to course. Sir, what if like if I'm having a basics knowledge of ethical hacking, and but I don't have any certificate, so will I get job in cybersecurity field? Like, is this possible or not?
Definitely. With basic knowledge would not be sufficient, Anand. You need to be a skilled person so that you can crack that interview. So depending on your interview skills, even without certification as well, you can get a job. It's not an issue. Okay. But you need to prove them that you are skilled in the field. Okay. So it's the main reason for certification is just to verify if you are good in the concepts or not. Okay. So if you don't have a certification, you have to show them something else. Okay. That shows you that you're skilled in or you're experienced in this domain. Or someone
And so like what package like they are getting, like the freshers one?
If you're a complete fresher, guys, you can expect a salary around 35 to 40K per month. With increase in experience, that increases up slowly up to 60 to 70K after 1 year or 2 years of experience.
Okay.
Sir, what are the skill required?
What are the skill? What? Sorry, Anil?
Basic skill, what are required?
Again, for the course, Anil, you don't require any other skills required for the course. As I've mentioned, you require basic networking and Linux commands, and that is included in the course only. Since students might find it tough to learn it from somewhere else, we have done it easier. We have included all the skills or concepts required for the course inside the course itself. So let me show you. Let me close this annotation. Yeah, over here. As you can see, all the basic required pre-requirements or prerequisites are included in the course. You don't need to learn anything separately from anywhere else. Okay, everything is included in the course. All you require is just a computer to practice on. That's it, nothing more.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys?
Sir, last question. Sir, can you share the PDF like what we are going to what we are going to teach like the courses?
These are the course contents, guys, for the CEH course that we are discussing today for 45 days. Okay, and please send me your email addresses in the chat box so that I can share this PDF file.
Yeah, sure.
So send me the email addresses, guys. Whoever wants the PDF, just send me your email in the chat box.
Sir, any offline support in Bangalore location?
Offline, no, Anil. As of now, we are not providing offline courses because I myself am teaching from a different location. So I'm not even at Hyderabad. So I have taken classes from my home in a different location. So right now there's only online support. Okay. Again, there is not at all much difference, Anil. So if you want any support, I'll be there available on the weekends to serve. Again, you have my personal number. So if there's any queries, any doubts, or anything that is troubling you, you can't understand a concept, you can directly contact me on my number or on my WhatsApp, and I'll be there whenever possible to reply back. So if I'm in a session, I might not reply back, but whenever I'm not in a session, I try to see that I reply to all the students at the earliest and resolve their queries. So trust me, guys, there's not at all any difference in the online and offline course part. Okay, so people are more preferring online because they can do this at their required timing, at their suitable timings, whenever they want to, and they have recorded sessions as well. So it's a lot convenient, more preferably students are choosing online itself directly. So therefore, we as of now have online courses.
Okay, sir.
I have received only one email from Anand. Okay, one more from Moses as well. Does anyone else require this PDF file, guys? The course content file.
That's the required.
Please send your emails, guys, in the chat box.
Sir, there is one more last question, sir. May I ask?
Definitely, please.
Sir, if I'm going for like cybersecurity in this field, so sir, like my question is like, do I get a better package in government field in government sector?
Government sector, yeah. One of my students are actually Anil, right? Who's asking the question? Aditya or Anil?
Anand.
Anand, yeah. One of my students is working right now for cybercrime department in Visakhapatnam. After doing the same course, CH course, he applied for an internship actually with them. And yeah, this course allows you to actually apply for government jobs as well. Okay. So
But I need certificate.
No, he's not certified either. The student which I was talking about, student named Vinod. Okay, he applied for cybercrime department in Visakhapatnam, and he has been working with them. So he started as an intern over there for 3 months, and then he directly got the job. He did not do the certification. He only got the certification of course completion, not the certificate from EC Council. He did not write the certification. So it is possible for you to get a government job as well with the CH course. Depends on the openings, guys. If they have an opening, you can start applying for it. Okay, so that's the thing.
And so like there is only like one field, like the cyber cell, or is there any other field also in government sector?
So frankly speaking, the people from my student, as I've mentioned, he was the one person who went, most of them try to do it in the IT sector itself. He was the one who was interested in joining the government sector, and he directly did it in the cybercrime department. So I guess that's the only domain for the opening for you in the government sector, cybercrime department. Because that is where all these practical things that you're going to be learning will be put to use. There's no other field where you can put this to use practically, all the concepts, other than the cybercrime department.
Okay.
Sure. Guys, is there any other email? I have 3 emails over here. Does anyone else want me to share? Is that it, guys? 3 emails? That's it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I've sent you the file. Okay. So, oh, okay. I can just receive one more. Okay, yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing more for discussion. Great. So,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I hope you liked the session, guys. I hope it was fun and interactive, and I didn't bore you out much. And yeah, if there's any issues, if there's any feedback, please let me know. If there's any audio issues, or if it was a bit too fast or too slow or anything. I hope you liked it. Any inconveniences or anything?
No, sir. Everything was fine.
No, sir.
sir.
Everything
Great
was
session.
fine. No problem.
You guys, thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you for attending the session on a Sunday. And have a good weekend. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, sir.
I hope to see
Thank you, sir.
Have a recording.
one more thing, guys. Is there any priority names that I have to mention to the institute in case if anyone is interested in joining the 9 p.m. session? Moses, I'll mention your name specifically because you have conveyed it to me that you want to join the course. Any other name that I should mention, guys, to the institute that you are interested in joining the 9 p.m. batch?
Sir, I'm interested, but like I have to like ask my parents.
Definitely, sure. Anand, sure. Anyone else, guys, who's planning on joining the 9 p.m. batch from tomorrow? Any names? Okay, sure. No worries, guys. Take your time. No hurry. Okay, just as a information base, just for information, I was asking that. No hurry, no pressure. Okay, so don't get tense. So yeah, whenever possible, I hope I see you in class soon. Take care. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Yes. Same to you, sir. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Is there another session tomorrow for the seminar?
No, Moses. There is no demo session. There's directly the class at 9 p.m. IST, Indian time.
Or not? Okay. All right.
Okay, 9 p.m. Okay, sure. Yeah.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
So yeah, please put in my name. I'd like definitely to join. For
Definitely, Moses. I'll inform the institute. I'll put your name. Sure. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Bye, guys.
Bye bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Take care. Have a
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
good day, guys. Bye.